So throughout our lives, we find ourselves in a lot of different places, don't we? And where we are makes a huge difference in terms of the life that we live, the life that we experience. If you're in your parents' home, for example, you might have feelings of safety and comfort. Or depending on your history with them, you might have feelings of resentment or uneasiness. If you spend most of your days in a bar, you might feel all alone. It might be because you feel all alone, like you have nowhere else to go. Or it might be because that is where you feel like you do belong. Because that's where everybody knows your name, according to that old TV show. But not all of the places that we go in the course of our lives are physical places. Some of them are metaphysical places. At various times, you might be in love, or in trouble, or in need of help, navigating the complexities of a challenging situation. You could find yourself in a state of confusion, in a state of bliss, or in a state of anticipation for what the future holds. Or maybe after hearing about all these metaphysical places you could be in, you're wondering if this sermon is going to leave you like you were in over your head. This morning, we're all in church. And because we are in church, we heard the message of the gospel through the songs that we sang and through the Bible passages we've read, through the message preached, and even through one another as we encourage one another's faith. And we do all these things because we are in church as a physical place, but also as a metaphysical place. We are the church. So we're not talking just about the building we're in, but the fact that we've gathered together for this purpose. We're in church. We are the church. And that's a very good place to be. But there's actually an even better place to be. And actually, if we're in church as the church, then we're also in this better place as well. Our passage this morning starts with the two words, in Him. In Him. And this also makes a huge difference in how we experience life, doesn't it? As we've seen several times in this sermon series, all of our blessings are found in Christ. It's in Him, in Christ, that we're made holy and blameless. It's in Christ that we're adopted as God's sons and daughters. It's in Christ that we're redeemed and united as the church. And today we read that it's in Christ that we've received an inheritance. Usually when we think about an inheritance, we think about how one generation passes on their possessions to their kids, right? And then pass on the possessions to their kids and so on. But it's funny how successive generations might not always appreciate the family heirlooms that meant so much to others. I read an article about a family in California that had a diamond, and it was a diamond and sapphire ring that had been passed down several generations, and how one day it was missing. And as they were looking for it, the mom in the family said something like, "Oh, where could it be?" To which her 3-year-old son responded, "Mama, I flushed it down the toilet. It's gone. It's gone. It's really, really gone." He was excited about this. They called a plumber who checked all the possible pipes in the house where it could have been, but the ring was gone. So then they called the city's sanitation department, and 2 men took it upon themselves to find the ring. It was like searching for a needle in a haystack, only much, much dirtier. After 6 weeks of searching, the ring was actually found. And after a very thorough cleaning, it was returned to the family, who said that they would one day pass the ring on to their son, who would hopefully appreciate it more by then. Now, as cool as that story is, that the lost thing had been found, the inheritance that we have in Jesus is far more valuable. We can't lose what Christ has given us. We can't lose what God has given us by His grace. It comes by grace through faith in Jesus. We didn't earn it, and we can't do something careless in order to forfeit it. It's a gift given to us that cannot be lost because it depends not on our strength to keep it, but on God's strength to keep us. Notice what Paul says, how we've already received this inheritance. That's what it says in verse 11. In Him we have also received an inheritance. It's not future tense, we will receive an inheritance, but past tense, we have received an inheritance.